Hello, everyone, and welcome to another race in the All Skills Hollow Knight 1221 Community Tournament. I'm Quacksilver, joined here on the mic by Herm.
Hey guys, I'm Herm. Super excited for this match. It's going to be a really great one between two runners. We've got Spicy, who has been running this category since December, and he's established himself with a very solid PB of 54 minutes 43 seconds. And then we've also got Taco, who started running this category only a month ago and has actually dropped over 30 minutes off of his PB in the last 2 weeks, down to 101. So I really expect a great race today.
We're going to get the runners kicked off here in just a second. So for those of you just joining us, this is a Swiss bracket. We have about 50 entrants, maybe exactly 50 in this tournament. And the way this first round is working is that the top half of seeds is playing the bottom half of seeds. So if I'm not mistaken, Spicy is the 19 seed in this tournament, and Taco was the 44 seed. 52 total. Thank you, chat. All right, we're going to get the countdown started in a second.
Fantastic. But yeah, as we go on through the tournament, we'll see these Swiss rounds lead to closer and closer matches. But this will still be a really great match today. I think we'll see a lot of cool stuff from both runners. And we'll be counting them down soon.
Just navigating to the right save point. So the way Swiss works, if you're coming from other esports that tend to favor elimination brackets, is we've done some seeding based on leaderboard PBs, and then for all future rounds, you'll be matched up against someone with a similar record to you. So people who are 2-0 will play other people who are 2-0. Because it's the first round, we did a loose seeding based on leaderboard PBs, but Taco is proof that you cannot trust that necessarily. His leaderboard PB is something like a 136, but just yesterday he posted a 101, a high 101 if I'm not mistaken. So it's been really putting in a grind.
Yeah, and I think that's something we've seen a lot from this tournament. You know, we've even seen a whole bunch of tournament personal bests from newer runners. People come out here, and even in a race setting, they've just improved so much at this category and actually get their best time in a race. So could be really cool to maybe even see that today.
All right, gonna get the countdown started here. And they should be off momentarily. So this is on patch 1221, like most of the races in this tournament. There's a smaller, separate current patch bracket. But what that means is that a number of speed tech remains in the game, such as notably lever skips, which we're going to talk about a great deal more as they come up in the run. But one of the things you'll see right away is the use of inventory dropping, where the runners are going to pause their game for early control right as we get the start here, and then you're going to use the inventory to uncap their fall speed and avoid hard fall.
Yeah, that's super nice, and you'll watch a current patch run, you'll see them just sort of crash into the ground, and it's almost just like those seconds that are saved are pretty big, and it's a nice feel for things. And it looks like we're heading off, so we'll see that inventory drop right now.
And yeah, the King's Pass one is a little bit special because you open the menu and close it to get early control of your character there before dropping. So a fairly synchronized start.
Pretty good.
For this race, we're using, for the 1221, we're using a load normalizer that will hopefully seek to even out some of the load times. Hollow Knight speedruns are timed loadless, and there's the sync. Thank you, Speed Gaming staff.
Nice.
Hollow Knight runs are timed loadless so that playing on a better PC is not the end-all be-all of runs. But for these race contexts, it can lead to a little bit of desync between the runners. So we've tried to address that as best we can.
Yep, in the end, it's difficult to fully go for, but we're pretty synced up right now, and that's great. We'll see both of them slash the door to head out of King's Pass and into the wild and wonderful world of Hallow Nest.
Yeah, the beginning of these runs, fairly consistent. Early movement, just grabbing Vengeful Spirit, gonna skip the False Knight fight. Same thing as most speed runs of this game. In true Metroidvania style, you're fairly gated at the beginning, and then the map opens up considerably.
Yeah. It's going to be a lot of, they're hopping through this dirt slow zone, and they're going to go down the well and do their thing. But in the end, this sort of Vengeful Spirit split is very, very calm. It's sort of the calm before the storm, where we're going to see a lot of interesting tricks and skips once we start heading into Green Path and stuff. Once we get that Vengeful Spirit, you'll start seeing skips with that, and it'll get pretty crazy overall.
Yeah. And it's worth noting, Taco, on account of a really good King's Pass, is starting off ahead, so already poised to make the upset. Surely we can talk about this early.
Oh boy, we'll see. Oh, there he gets the double spike kill. That's the quick kill on those Aspids, so good looks for Taco so far.
And yeah, Spicy gonna miss it. That is one of the few things that is much, much easier on the current patch of the game. The stalactite hitbox is just much more forgiving. You saw both of them go for a setup there where they waited on the top platform to try and get it, but it's still a rather difficult trick to space and time correctly.
Yeah, overall it's those little things, and I mean, we'll see another. I was talking to Taco before the race, and he said that an upcoming trick we're going to see here called Statue Pogo, which just a little hop can give him a struggle, and like, he doesn't go for it. It's the sort of thing where these little movement things, if you miss them, it's not a big deal, but it can also throw you off a little bit mentally because you're just expecting them, having practiced it so many times.
Yeah, a lot of this in a race context where you're not able to reset freely for a PB is about, do I opt for the safety strat that is guaranteed to lose 5 to 10 seconds but can stop me from taking a 3-minute death?
Yeah, no, I think of big examples of that late in this fight, one of the hardest fights in all skills is Hornet 2. It's like, do you take that bench? And we'll see a lot of choices like that here throughout the run, but for now we'll just see Taco wailing on False Knight's head and getting ready to escape this battle.
Yep, so gonna take this dev-intended early fight exit by breaking this wall.
And into the Ancestral Mound he'll go, and Spicy's doing the exact same thing. Both of them having a really solid start so far.
Yeah, so he's gotten off to a little bit of a decent start, but it still looks like Taco is poised to be a little bit ahead, if I'm doing the math on this walk-up Ancestral Mound right.
Yeah, there's a 10-second delay.
Coming out of VS. So an impressive showing. Like, everyone in this first round is a 25 seed deficit, or 25 seed gap rather, between the runners. So strong statement in the early game here.
Yeah. So Oko does make the interesting point of Taco being very low on Geo, and that is something that he'll likely be able to make up throughout the run, but it is true that in all skills and in almost all Hollow Knight categories, Geo is our currency, and it's routed very tightly because we don't want to waste a lot of time farming for it. And so, yeah, Spicy definitely has a bit more of a cushion here than Taco does in that regard.
Especially these, like some of the main board categories, like all skills and any percent, have down to the individual room farming for enemies Geo routes, so it can be very, very tight. As we're gonna get out of Ancestral Mound and head to Green Path here.
Was that first spit for both of them? They got right away.
Yep, some good RNG.
Yeah, they're blessed. Sometimes that boulder can just spit infection pellets at you 4 or 5 times and stare you down like, you want a good run? I don't think so.
Yeah, it's a 50% chance every spit of being a usable boulder or a irritating infection blob. But it doesn't feel like that when he's already spit 3 and he's getting ready to spit his 4th.
Yeah, somebody made a point about gambler's fallacy, and it's a pretty good one.
For what it's worth, I think, if I'm not mistaken, the record we've seen so far is Taco gets another first spit. The record we've seen so far is something like a 6 or 7 spit Balder in the tournament. The world record for consecutive bad Balder spits is, I think, 19 or 20. No, sorry, it's not another first spit. We're 1-2-2-1. We get the quick kill by abusing the fireball multiple hitbox there.
Yeah. And Spicy will attempt that fireball skip and miss it, but thankfully not too consequential. You just go around and head on into green path, as they both do.
Yep. And so what you'll see in green path is both the runners trying to build and manage their soul value. We got a couple fireball skips. That was just the first one. Taco's coming up to the second one right here. And looks like an unfortunately late start on the fireball there.
Yeah, thankfully you've got this really easy backup strat for the most part. Very beginner friendly. You just gotta sort of ranch this squit over and pogo off of it to get on your merry way. But it's nice because it's right there and it doesn't lose a ton of time.
Yeah, although Taco had a little bit of some hurting difficulties with the squid there.
Yeah, that was hot. Not as clean as he probably wanted to be.
With Spicy getting that, it looks like Spicy is about a second or two ahead now coming into that green path room. So if Spicy can get both fireball skips in succession here, it looks like they'll pull ahead of Taco a little bit coming up on the Hornet fight.
Yes, most certainly, and I don't know how that third fireball, I think Taco ended up going around, and it looks like Spicy will as well, but still, Spicy seems to be somewhat ahead at this point.
And Spicy, yeah, gets that backup. You can pogo off that enemy there. It only loses a couple seconds over just getting the fireball skip. It's not perfectly consistent because on this patch the enemy spawns are not perfectly consistent, but both Spicy and Taco had the opportunity to go for it. Spicy went for it and got it, and Taco just opted to go around.
Yep, and they'll both be fighting this Moss Knight here. Pretty easy, it's just 3 fireballs and a nail hit. Both of them are through it in quick succession and heading on up. But yeah, at this point, now that they're synced game-wise, looks like Spicy's about 25 seconds ahead.
So the first of many stops on our tight geo route is coming up right here. The famed All Skills Rocks is a group of Moss Knights and some geo rocks down here, as Taco is going to take a safety heal. Gets you a lot of early game geo. There's 170 to be found in this, and Spicy also gets good spawns on those Moss Knights to be able to hit them both.
Yeah, that was nice RNG. So he'll get his geo nice and quick. Taco's got to deal with the other one.
Looks like they both got fairly favorable spawn positions, but
yeah. And overall, yeah, they'll be heading into
bullied.
The Moss Charger. That hurts. You hate to see it. So yeah, Spicy will fight Hornet 1 now. This is a fight that depends on a pretty tight damage rotation. You want to bully her into the corner and keep her there the whole time. Don't let her shaw her way out of there, essentially. Taco will be doing it as well.
Those full screen jumps like Spicy's getting here can be really rough for your damage rotation.
Yeah, it's the age-old joke of the boss's hardest attack is when it walks into you, and for Hornet it's the simple upward hop. Can be really scary. Spicy's picking up his dash, and that's gonna help a lot. Dash, you go fast, good for speedrunning, also good for getting around a lot of places.
All right, and Taco makes it through as well. You can see he was playing it safe there on one mask, but is gonna pick up dash without much consequence other than time loss. Hornet,
yeah.
The first Hornet fight is one of the worst places to die because you don't have dash yet, and you have to walk all the way back through green path.
Yeah, it's very purposeful. You don't bench at the waterfall and green path, even though you walk right past it, because you got to do what Spicy's doing right here and warp back to Ancestral Mound through saving and quitting the game. But yeah, if you die there in green path, it is a rough and long journey back for you.
Yeah, and chat pointing out that there was a little bit of a blessing from Hornet as well, because like you pointed out, Herm, if Hornet empty hops at you, you just die in that situation.
Yeah. I think of my Radiant Hornet 1 journey flashbacks of it was going so well and then she jumped on me.
There are a number of bosses in this run that just movement can be the most infuriating part.
Oh yes.
But now we move on towards Mantis Claw. Trick that Spicie's coming up on here is the Explosion Pogo, where you do exactly what it sounds like.
Yep, you just wait for that spore and it's you hope you get it. If you get hit, it is not the most fun thing. That explosion does 2 masks of damage, but we will hopefully see clean tricks from both runners. It's pretty gettable on 1-2-2-1. On current patch it can get a little bit dicey. But
yeah, there are several alternative options for how to essentially get this trick on current patch, but they're all kind of ugly. Spicy going to unfortunately miss the first one. Pretty quick to reset though.
Yeah.
And we'll get the second E-Pogo.
And here's Taco taking his go at it.
Yeah, Taco noticed that the spore hit the wall there, so just going to avoid it.
Yeah, good eyes. Ooh, does take that damage and is on 2 masks, meaning another hit would knock him out. Spicy's looking for Mantis Pogo, trying to get up here and not have to go around. Saves about 10 to 15 seconds.
Taco is committed.
Yeah,
Spicy gets a pretty clean Mantis Pogo. Slightly scuffed to take the right side there, but still through to Mantis Claw at about the 10.5-minute mark. And there's E-Pogo from
gets
Taco.
it. Sometimes you just gotta stick with it. You know you got it. Yeah, Lazy mentioning Taco's effort, and we're certainly seeing that. Hopefully gets through this cleanly with all the mantises. Those things can hit you for a mask you don't want to take.
Yeah, it looks like Taco's just going to back this up, not try and mess with Mantis Pogo. Because sometimes you do get bullied there. So going around loses a fair bit of time. It's on the order of 15-20 seconds, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
but
I think it's about 15.
Does get you safely to Mantis Claw. So it's like about 1.5 minutes behind at this point for Taco.
Yep. Yeah, people saying Taco's dedicated to scaring us all today. Can't disagree, but he's getting through it, you know? No deaths so far.
You're not technically required to equip Fury of the Fallen to play through the game at 1 health.
It's very true. You can have the same experience without the annoying red barrier. Maybe Taco doesn't like red that much, who knows?
So next up on our journey, we're going to go to right side, the most valuable place to be, and so one of the first items of business in any speedrun. All skills is no different. We're going to be setting up a shade skip here, which in a moment Spicy is going to voluntarily take a death to some of the enemies in this room, and is going to use the shade that spawns when he dies to pogo up to an otherwise inaccessible ledge to get into Blue Lake and then over to the City of Tears early.
Yep, so Spicy will begin by saying hi to our best friend Salubra, who will offer him the illustrious Shaman Stone that powers up all of our spells. It's a huge boost charm that you see in every speedrun pretty much, and will be the only charm we use throughout this run. It's the bread and butter of what we're doing here. And then, yeah, he will do the classic Hollow Knight speedrun death and hop on up to the Blue Lake.
It's worth noting, if you've seen any percent speedruns before, that we are not saving Sly in this speedrun. Part of the beauty of the very, very tight geo route in this category is that we have no need for Sly. We're going to lever skip to get rid of the need for Elegant Key. We're not going to bother buying Lantern because dive is required anyway. It's a skill. So we can just avoid Sly altogether.
Yep, and that will make for some very interesting and fun dark rooms throughout this run. Got Crystal Peaks and Deep Nest, and we'll see those runners navigate through some rooms that you're definitely supposed to have Lantern for, but they are skilled enough and practiced enough to mosey on over to wherever they need to be.
And Spicy showing off that soul totem in that
through
little
the
hidden
floor.
room there.
And we'll see Taco give this Shade Skip a shot after Spicy. Yep, both runners get it very cleanly.
There are several variations of that Shade Skip. Claw and Dash, because of how common it is in speedruns, tends to be fairly well practiced. So no trouble for either runner here.
Yep, nothing too cursed. No great hopper percent Shade Skip with
Oh boy.
no movement or anything terrifying like.
All right, and so with that, we are in city. Notably, to some of Chat's points earlier, Taco has some enemies still to farm in front of him, but is sitting 50 whole geo behind Spicy here. Wants to make most, if not all, of that up on these city enemies.
Yes.
We're going to be buying Dash Slash in a second, and that is 800 geo. And so a good chunk of efficient farming is necessary in order to be able to afford that. You see Spicy killing the Gorgeous Husk, dropping the very funny, very dank 420 geo. Will cover most of the difference here.
Yes. And it is, yep, Oro is the only nail master that charges you for his services, but he certainly charges a high price. And so getting through certain rows of enemies in city and making sure that you have all your geo by the time you hit his hut in the Kingdom's Edge is very, very critical, because that Dash Slash is, the reason we get it so early is it allows us to do some very funky lever skips soon after in the run. Get our Shade Soul very early, get through parts of Soul Sanctum that we don't really want to do. And yeah, the geo has to be there for that to happen.
Yeah, so Spicy coming into Kingdom's Edge with about 730 geo here. There has been a fair bit of innovation over the course of the All Skills run on how to best farm these hoppers that you're going to see in Kingdom's Edge. They drop 16 geo a pop, and there are 6 of them that are relatively, like, direct on your path. Maybe 7 even. Oh, and one gets stuck in the floor.
Unfortunate.
So yeah, you'll see him just try and farm up to 800 and then get out of the way. Spicy, in fact, going a little bit over to make sure clean out both rows of hoppers there.
Yeah, that second set of hoppers, you've got a Primal Aspid tailing you, which some would say is the worst enemy in the game. I mean, I think it's Mantis Petra for me, but certainly no fun to have watching over you while you farm that geo, but looks like Spicy will make it cleanly to Oro's hut, and we've got Taco taking on the hoppers himself.
And yeah, Taco also getting bullied a little bit by this Aspid, but looks good on geo, yep.
Nice. Yeah, 825, that'll certainly do it.
Yeah, there is a fair bit of contention for what the worst enemy is. My preference is for Crystal Hunters, but that's because I tend to run on current patch, and they are so much worse on that patch than on 1221. They fire like primal aspids then.
Oh, yes, they're terrible, and my experiences with them learning to play on Switch was the absolute antithesis of fun.
Yep.
So, there we go, though. Dash Slash for both runners, and Spicy heading back into the city towards Soul Sanctum.
So coming up to Soul Sanctum, we're gonna skip as much of it as humanly possible. Soul Sanctum is famous for being kind of the ultimate run killer, teleporting enemies. Just a lot of shenanigans can very easily go wrong through no fault of your own. So Dash Slash lets us skip most notably Hell Room, which I'll point out when we get there, but a room with 3 Soul Twisters.
Yes, and speaking of skips, you just saw Spicy hit that lever through the floor. That's why we love 1221 so very much. It lets you get around a whole arena where you have to fight a very annoying Great Husk Sentry. And so, yes, as that dash slash, imagine what Spicy just did, but through walls, and you have the absolute beauty of skipping so many very annoying parts of Soul Sanctum.
Yeah, so coming up here, as Taco also grabs that lever skip handily, makes it through the dark room. Okay, looks like a little bit of pause in that artificial dark room, but we'll make it out all right. So what Spicy is coming up on is the lever skip to Shade Soul. The dev intended way to get Shade Soul is to go into Crystal Peak for shop key, use it to buy Elegant Key from Sly, and then come back and unlock the door. But we have absolutely no time for that, so instead we're going to exploit the ability to hit levers from the wrong side, like that.
Yep. Walk on in. Oh, that was some nice weapon storage right there.
So this only works on this patch of the game for two reasons. One, because lever skips only work on this patch, but two, that lever is actually in the same room as the outside on 1221. On later patches, for optimization reasons, and also possibly to ruin the trick, they moved the interior of the Shade Soul room into an actual different room.
Yeah, and you'll see even more lever shenanigans on Spicy's side right here as we get a very fun elevator trip with a lever involved. Taco gets his Shade Soul.
And so now we've got Shade Soul. An important thing to talk about is double hits. It looks like Spicy is not getting super lucky with those, but in addition to buffing your damage considerably, Shaman Stone also increases the hitbox size of your fireball by a fair bit. And the reason that is so busted is because fireballs can hit enemies multiple times. And so especially on bosses, a double hit Shade Soul does 80 damage, your nail does 5. So you are looking to as many double hits, and you won't see them in this run likely, but on certain bosses, triple hits as possible.
Yes, it is absolutely huge damage-wise because most of these bosses in the later game, they're not designed to be fought without nail upgrades. You're supposed to go to the nailsmith and get a lot more damage, but we just speed on through by slashing levers and hitting bosses multiple times for a whole bunch of damage.
And Taco actually did get several double hits. I believe the damage math is you want 4 double hits on that Soul Warrior and then a couple nail swings to finish him off. So Taco getting a little bit luckier there, as both of them sync up at the Soul Master fight.
Spicy finishing him off right away. Should be totally fine with the 2 health. In the end, Soul Master has very little health in this second fake out phase.
Yeah, and you just saw Taco do that. Shade Soul, unlike Vengeful Spirit, can hit through walls. So the strat for Soul Master is to hit the little soul globules on the right side after you start the fight to get the mid-fight refresh. And Spicy meanwhile with a very quick phase 2 of Soul Master, like you said.
Yeah. And then you get the dive for real this time. I know on my first playthrough I beat Soul Master, I was like, I did it, I finally did it! And then, oh shoot, there's a second phase, but it's no surprise to these two. Oh, what is happening?
Oh no, it looks like Taco. This is Soul Master vibing.
Oh my gosh, he's headbanging.
This is a glitch that can happen where I think you like kill Soul Master and get hit on the same frame, and he just vibes there forever, and you have to reset.
Oh no!
We're gonna go into
truly unfortunate for Taco. That is some real unlucky stuff happening, and he will quit out. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, it's pretty rare, although I think we saw it recently in like some of the practice grinds for this. It's just an unfortunate thing that can happen, and yeah, his last bench is relatively far away.
Yeah, did not. Some people choose to take a safety bench in Watcher Spire, but Taco did not, which is very acceptable, but unfortunately will cost him in this unexpected way.
So Spicy going to be continuing back through Soul Sanctum. This is where the geo routing gets the tightest.
Yes.
You need 300 geo to open King Station Stag. And so your tight geo routing is we're trying to reach out to Taco to get him to pause timer for the walk back.
Glitch.
Like Spicy is benching and pausing.
Yeah. I like to see it. It's good that people are understanding when you get that crazy glitch. Spicy's doing some hops to pass the time as well. Yeah, data infected. Taco had a really unfortunate glitch where he took damage from Soulmaster on the frame that the boss died, causing Soulmaster to be put into an eternal state of vibe that prevents Taco from ever getting his dive. So he had to quit out and get things fixed. So now we've got Taco paused and hopefully we're working it out now.
Looks like Taco is continuing with the timer pause, so he'll be able to get back to killing Soulmaster a second time with no further time penalty. And we'll see another very fun trip through Soul Sanctum abridged by doors that are already open at this point. And Spicy will head on through the stag. Got his geo together, very nice. All right, staying communicative with Taco. We're a little bit delayed,
Wonderful.
But sounds like he's in a position to resume timer.
Yep, and there's his dive. So Taco gets his skill and will be able to proceed through and out of Soul Sanctum towards peaks in the same way Spicy's going.
Right. Are back in business.
Fantastic. So yeah, we'll see Spicy heading into peaks through the dive entrance, and we'll head past our friend, enemy, currently uninfected Mila, dive on through, and then we'll be heading up towards getting the Crystal Heart ability, which is our super dash, and spending a lot of time in peaks. This is a very important split in terms of health. You really want to make sure you have things managed, because at the end of this whole trip through peak, you're going to see some damage tanks, hopefully, from these runners.
So Crystal Peaks is a very heavily cycle-based area. These laser bugs going to create cycles that we memorize and develop strategies to quickly pass through. So this is the first major cycle room. It looks like Spicy went for God Pixel, trick where you can essentially appear two-phase through the laser beam. Didn't quite get it there.
Yeah, unfortunate, but also super, super hard trick to get, and in the end, not going to cost him all that much as he gets up through that climb, and we'll be able to start heading down towards the Crystal Heart platform. And Taco reaching the Watcher's Spire bench, be able to do his own thing, and good to see him back on the road. Nice dash slash air stall from Spicy as well. Use that to get through some jumps, and he will go for the damage boost cycle. It is slightly faster. Ooh, gets caught off by that laser, and yeah, essentially loses the cycle there. It's very tough. Hopefully see some underplat. Yes, very important. It's critical we see underplat in all of these races. Just that simple dash, but it means the world to see that beautiful underplat. Yes, and I believe that due to sort of the glitch restrictions, Taco cannot drop below 25 Geo, yes, at this point. Now Spicy will go through some more cycle rooms. You're going to see some crushers here. This was my least favorite grub to get in the casual playthrough. Something about these just didn't make sense to me, but these runners have a cycle down and know what they're doing, so it gives them no trouble.
And this is the all-skills grub. Yep, it costs you literally no time to free him. Therefore, something that everyone should do.
Right.
We're gonna see our first of a couple dark rooms. There is a safer strat you can do with C dashing across the platforms, but Spicy, old hat at this, just dashes right on through.
Yes, very clean, no issues whatsoever, and we'll head into the crystallized mound, where we get our upgrade to Desolate Dive, Descending Dark. We'll do some more platforming here.
This is another one of those fabled worst places to die in the run.
Yes.
Because the runners intentionally bench at Watcher's Spire to safe quit back there after finishing this long section. So a death here takes some time.
But thankfully Spicy makes it through and will now do this early control glitch, which will allow him to smoothly slide down and be able to get the pickup as he exits mound and have early control of his character, which is very nice. As Taco heading up, and looks like he's well on his way to Crystal Heart. Seems to be picking everything up just fine.
And so now we finally get Dreamnail. We, even with the shade skip, we passed right underneath it. It's much more convenient to just fall into Dreamnail from Crystal Peaks here.
Yep. And then, yeah, no, the movement in all skills around City is a bit odd because of getting Dash Slash, getting Dive, and then after Dreamnail, of course, which we need to get a Dreamer like Lurian, we'll go back and do Watcher Nights.
It looks like Taco, yeah, having an unfortunate time with the movement there, and so is going to maybe miss this cycle, yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit tough, but he'll power on through and hopefully go for some underplat as well. Oh.
I4 said no thank you.
That's an acceptable time to not do underplat, yeah. Spicy says hi to the Seer. Very friendly moth. We won't be seeing much of her, as Dreamgate and Awoken Dreamnail are not skills for the sake of this run. Otherwise, this would just be a sort of half true hunting run. But he will get his Dreamnail and quit out to Watcher's Spire.
So that bench that we saved earlier, gonna go quickly dispatch the Watcher Knights. Unlike the any percent run where Watcher Knights you fight with basically nothing and it's a real run killer, here we have D-Dark. And the thing about Descending Dark on this patch is that while you are in the invincibility frames of one Descending Dark, you can start another Descending Dark without losing those invincibility frames.
Oh my god,
and so you
Taco.
can just chain D-Darks and kill Watcher Knights for relatively little investment. Taco, yeah, wisely going for a heal here.
There was a moment where he was inside sort of the box with the Crusher and then jumped out in the nick of time. But yes, as Chad is saying, Taco never fails to terrify us. But yeah, Spicy will do D-Dark Watcher Knights, like you said, Quack. These are far from the I'm fighting with my bare fists and vengeful spirit Watcher Knights we see in any percent. They sort of melt under the invulnerability of your dive.
There it is. You can see just levitated right through their hitboxes for a little bit there. And Taco meanwhile with a super clean Dark Room for
excellent.
As much as he was toying with our hearts there earlier.
Back up to 3 masks too. No longer in that state.
Spicy.
Ooh, 1 mask.
Spicy, yeah, no.
Taking a page from Taco's book with the suspense there. But will
clean fight in the end, though.
Yes. And really, really nice movement through Crystallized Mound on Taco's side, going for that early control as well.
And gets it.
Yeah, real good. I think that's one of my favorite tricks, just because of how the knight sort of kneels into the spikes. It's very fun to watch.
Yeah, all the early control animations in this game. I hope we'll get one such fun animation quirk at the end of the run from one or both of our runners. But all of the night locked animations are just very, very fun.
Most certainly. And dash slashing into Lurian with style. Spicy will beat up his first Dreamer, and yeah, that's obviously, like, in any Hollow Knight category, in order to beat the game, you need to destroy all 3 Dreamers and get through whatever's guarding them, and so this will be the first one. We won't see the other 2 for a little bit, but obviously, in short order, we'll be seeing Monomon and then Hera.
So Taco gonna go through this dream platform sequence, pointing out that since we just came from Crystal Dash, there is this little time save where you get up on the ceiling and Crystal Dash across a large number of the platforming challenges. Makes the dream platforms a bit less of a headache overall.
Yeah, that long walk, and it's really nice to go through it with Crystal Dash and just sort of go through it. Oh yes, hi Virgil. I'm glad you tuned in. But yes, Taco's got his dream nail, and Spicy's heading down from the Watcher's Spire. Yes.
So about a split behind at this point, but still putting up a pretty impressive fight. All the practice looks like it's paying off in general. Spicy, meanwhile, coming up on the next set of difficult skips for the run. We're going to head to Isma's tier. We don't have time to fight Dung Defender and go around
simple keys for us.
Yeah, the Grove and anything. So instead we're going to take advantage of this little spike tunnel here.
Yep. This can be one of the toughest splits. And as you can see, I mean, Spicy gets it on his 4th try, but that spike tunnel is no joke. There's very little room for error, and now we're going to see him go into a set of acid skips, because instead of, like we said, instead of fighting Dung Defender and hitting the lever for that sign, we just say no to Isma's tier and sort of head on through the way you're supposed to head out when you're like, I have this new ability, let me try it. But instead, we do it with Crystal Dash and some fun jumping around.
And Spicy going for the setup version of that, where you Crystal Dash into that little platform in a specific spot and neutral jump out. There's also a setup-less version that relies on a sort of dash jump that I still honestly don't fully comprehend.
Yep. To each their own.
Setup-less has its own devotees. Not me.
And I mean, we're seeing a very nice Watcher Knights fight from Taco, all lined up and such. Yeah, it looks like he's got a few more, but both runners are having really, really clean splits right now. It's looking very good.
And Taco there showing off just how far to the sides the Descending Dark hitbox reaches. What was that?
Yeah.
See that Watcher Knight, like, bouncing a little bit?
Ooh.
Taco's just showing off all of the boss exploits in this run.
Yeah, really. He's giving us the whole tour of like 15 ways to kill or be killed by a Watcher Knight. And then yeah, Spicie's down in the ancient basin. We'll buy this bench, run away from it so that it loads in, and then go and take a seat.
And all of these, like, leaving rooms and coming back in things themselves are timer exploits. Depending on what instance of it, like falling off the beginning of the dream platforms or opening a toll bench and then leaving the room and coming back, they may or may not be slower in real time, but because the Hollow Knight timer is loadless, you basically do that to cheese your way to a free extra second or two. It's very common practice.
Yes, for sure. That's the thing, is whenever you have a system like that, you're gonna see people use it in a way that makes that time they get the fastest, and that's just sort of one of the byproducts, but...
Anything to save those frames.
Oh yeah. We'll see Spicie making it through the smaller segment can be very ugly. Looks like he will take a heal here after he got hit a few more times than he probably would have liked by those infection pellets, but we'll head on over to fight the Broken Vessel and get his Monarch Wings, which is our double jump.
And Spicie, yep, showing off that little, there's a specific dash jump you can do into that lower ledge to be able to skip walking around. Another cute little time save on your way up to the Broken Vessel fight.
Yeah, Jason, I would argue that instead of saving the grubs and not the frames, save the grubs and the frames in the case of our all-skills grub. And then, you know, when you can. If there's a grub in your path, you can save it. We've got Broken Vessel. Kind of melts under our Descending Dark. Kind of might be an understatement. It'll be a pretty quick fight overall, with those headbangs signaling different HP milestones. And then we'll see Taco do the spike tunnel.
And that spike tunnel is such a bully.
Yeah, seriously. It is one of the most difficult tricks in the run, for sure. And just requires such precision. This would be... Yeah, it will be a death for Taco. It's a very understandable.
I spent some time thinking about that.
Yeah, all the way back to the top of the Watcher's Spire due to that hard save. It's really unfortunate, but in the end, it is a truly tough trick to pull off, and we'll see Taco right back at it in no time, I'm sure. And Spicie will head up to Hidden Station, having acquired the double jump you mostly need to get there, and stag out of the basin to greener pastures.
Checking in on our geo-routing here. The last piece of equipment that you have to pay for in this run, if I'm not mistaken, is Distant Village Stag, with a cost of 250, so Spicie looking pretty good on Geo. There's definitely enough stuff to kill on the way to make up 25.
Yeah. There are plenty of enemies, both easy and fun to kill and highly undesirable to get Geo from, in Spicie's path, so yes, he'll head into the Kingdom's Edge to the fabled Hornet 2 fight. I've seen some comms say Shaw. I will Shaw for Hornet 2.
All right, Taco's through. One down,
There
two to
we
go.
go. Very nice. And yeah, now we'll see those acid skips. But the nice thing about the acid skips is there's a blug sack up above this room that you can sort of use as a soul totem infinitely. But Taco will pull it off first try. Very nice. Go for that second acid skip now.
Slightly dangerous here.
Ooh.
Oh, and Taco goes for it. Looks like the setup-less version there with the dash jump and does not
That
get
is
it.
truly unfortunate for him. Oh, he was so close.
One more attempt through the Isma's gauntlet.
Yeah.
The fear of that is so real.
Yeah, seriously, because there's really only on that middle one can you get soul to heal. And after that, you're kind of locked into it.
So once again, it's that trade-off between safety strats and going fast.
Yep.
While Taco resets to try the Isma's gauntlet one more time, Spicy with the Hornet Sentinel fight.
Shaw.
Jaw indeed. That's fine. What's less fine is when Hornet parries.
Oh yes.
Because again, your Fireball and Descending Dark do hilariously more damage than your Nail. But Hornet can parry them, and there is no more tilting feeling. Well, maybe outside of Chain Dance, but there are few more tilting feelings than having Hornet parry a couple Fireballs.
Yep, and you just know that's the soul, you know, that I worked hard to gain this soul, and here we are. It's just, you don't even get a Hegale out of it. It's just silence and staring you down as she takes away your harder spell. No more Shaw though, as Spicy gets through the fight very nicely. Here's the spike tunnel again. Oh, first try. Taco's got it down to a science at this point.
Very critical there, but Taco gets that as well, because obviously if you die twice, you lose all of your Geo.
Yes.
And so that's bad when there are still things you want to afford in this run. Because backing up that kind of
soul, yeah.
Backing up that kind of Geo is very difficult, especially if you're not used to no reset runs and you have to sort of improvise that Geo routing on the fly. That is very, very difficult to do.
Well, I know somebody in chat said Stalking Devouts were their least favorite enemy, but they do give 43 Geo, so you might get to have some fun in Deep Nest in that worst case scenario. Oh, very nice, Taco. Heading through.
That's the setup list there. Well, the dash jump tech, despite a very low Crystal Dash, I have never seen a C dash that low still work out, so very impressive from Taco for backing that up.
Death-defying. Yeah. And he is through all of it. Oh my goodness. Oh my god!
And Spicy.
He's gonna slap Bardoon.
A quick detour.
You don't normally see that in a speedrun. That's pretty legendary.
For some sportsmanship with Bardoon, our favorite long boy.
Some good Bardoon chuckles in there. Yeah, Bubba, Taco did start running a month ago, so it is truly impressive how much he's improved over that time.
Yeah, I mean, shoot, even just in the, week and a half now between signups closing and now, Taco's brought his PB down by half an hour.
Right, I mean, that's absolutely bonkers. It is... Yeah, he's really been on the grind, and it's clearly paid off.
Petition to route and spank Bardoon into the runs. Interesting, perhaps worth considering for its own category extension.
Bardoon %. Yeah, I don't really think it saves those frames in most cases, but I mean, we have plenty of very interesting category extensions. We have Aluba %, which is kill an Aluba. We have the suggested Atuba %, which is kill both. Yeah, there's a lot of category extensions.
And more are being developed every day.
Yep. The new idea of spellless %, let's get out of Forgotten Crossroads using Long Nail to kill a Balder, which is a lot of RNG and a lot of painful fingers.
We're at the point in Hollow Knight's lifespan where we are truly plumbing the depths of everything that it has to offer in terms of bizarre category extensions.
Yes.
I myself am a fan of a lot of them.
Oh,
see
me
me
too.
on the meme boards. But Taco also going for this broken vessel skip. Goes for it once or twice and then goes around. That's oftentimes, I
Most
think,
fair.
yeah, how I see it framed. I think it's only saves time over just going around by default if you get it in the first 2 attempts, maybe just the first one. I'm sure chat will have the exact specifics on that. But
yes.
So oftentimes I'll see runners go for it once, and if it fails, just take the time loss and go around.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll see Spicy just picked up Cyclone Slash, which is the second of our nail arts, and actually my favorite one on the poorly translated Hollow Knight mod, in that Cyclone Slash is inexplicably Flower Garden. And he will use it to fall down very quickly through the now infected crossroads. Oh, and that's a
And Taco taking an
vessel.
unfortunate death, yeah. That if you run out of D-Darks at the wrong time.
Yeah. But thankfully, he'll head right back over. Doesn't have to do a spike tunnel and acid skips to get there, which is nice. Did he open the shortcut? No.
I don't believe so, no. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense not to in a speedrun setting, but it is unfortunate in this case.
Yeah, given Broken Vessel's low HP when stacked up against Chain D-Darks,
Yes.
it's very uncommon to see someone go for the safety of popping open that shortcut, because usually you just try to damage race the boss, or even just out-damage him wholesale because of the generous high frames on D-Dark.
Absolutely.
But sometimes, especially when Maulurks are mean to you, they are very much a part of the boss fight.
Yeah, no, that's the thing, is it's Broken Vessel itself is half of it, and maybe even less than half when you have this crazy Maulurk gauntlet you have to get through. And now Spicy's heading into the Teacher's Archives, which holds our second Dreamer, and the boss guarding her, which is Umu, a notorious boss in any percent for its various damage rotations. But in here, instead of talking about 2 cycles and 3 cycles, we see sometimes there's a pretty specific 1 cycle setup, but it's pretty easy to get a 2 cycle on Umu here with our Shade Soul and our damage rotations.
Alright, so it looks like Umu might be a little bit high. Oh, plus the extra.
Yeah, extra attack. It's in the slow patterns. Unfortunate.
Alright, that's a pretty good hurt on Umu after the extra, though.
Yeah. Pearl gives a Kasa.
Oh, not enough, not near
misses
enough
the
doubles.
1 cycle. Yeah, no.
Yeah, so basically you hurt Umu to a very specific spot on that right platform and then just knock it all the way outside of the arena to get consistent double hits on it, to be able to burn through its 300 HP in 1 cycle. But Spicy ends a Dream Nail or 2 on the boss during its invulnerable phase, gonna clean that up with a very quick 2 cycle.
Yep, only 2 Kasas needed here, and able to sort of, yeah, just head on in, say hi to our good friend Quirrell, and go demolish Monomon.
And Taco, having gotten the run back against Broken Vessel, is going to head on over and out of Ancient Basin.
Yep, he'll go have fun in the Kingdom's Edge, where we'll see a little more Shaw content. And yeah, in the end, I mean, Taco has he's just kept on trekking, and things are looking like he's got it together at this point. I think we'll see a good next part of the run from him.
I mean, Hornet 2 is the bully to end all bullies.
Most certainly.
But I know Taco has been practicing this fight a bunch alongside, of course, the all skills run, so I'm certainly rooting for him on the Hornet fight. Meanwhile, Spicy is going to walk out of Teacher's Archives and head over towards Great Slash.
I believe it's Wraiths and Great Slash.
Wraiths and then Great Slash, yep.
Yes.
So the slight route difference between current patch and 1.2.2.1, again on the back of lever skips, there is a lever you can hit to gain access into Queen's Gardens.
Yep, no QGA here. We have Isthmus tier, and we don't really care about it in that we can just head over to Overgrown Mound, pick up our skill, and then straight into QG for us. Taka will take that bench. Pretty wise choice given how ugly Hornet 2 can be, but sure we'll get to see it.
So okay, it will be Great Slash and then Raids.
Oh, it will. I'm confused.
Yeah, this routing has changed a couple of times in the relatively recent past before this tournament, but shoutouts to the current pouch route. This is where we would detour to go fight Massive Moss Charger. We have no need for that Geo here. So just a quick run up to Shio, gonna grab Great Slash, and then quit back to the archives to head towards Queen's Gardens. Meanwhile, Taco opening up the Hornet Sentinel fight with a nice clean double or two, followed by Hornet walking.
Oh yes. The worst attack, as we've discussed earlier. Between the walk and the jump, I think that's why, I mean, one of the reasons she's such a hard boss is she doesn't just walk into you, she will also jump onto you. That is very tough. Yes, over towards Great Slash for Spicy. Thankfully, now that we've got full moves, platforming shouldn't be too bad. I know that casually I was like, what am I supposed to be doing here? But they've got it down.
And Taco with a very clean Hornet fight.
Yes, super great for him. You will go into the cast-off shell and something will tell him, yes, you're the king now. He'll get his king's brand.
I have a sneaking suspicion we are not going to see Bardoon make a reappearance on Taco's screen, but
I'm gonna have to agree, for better or for worse.
Hustle on over to Swords Umu.
Hornet will hustle away to some unknown location as well, and meanwhile, Spicy, a graceful bow to Shio. You love to see it.
Gotta show kindness to the NPCs.
Oh, you must. It is critical in any run. And he'll quit out, and yes, now it is Wraith's time.
Hornet is most dangerous walking at a reasonable pace. That is very true.
That's lovely.
Love the sea dash across those rooms done by Spicy, because sometimes the enemy RNG is just bad and you head first yourself into an Uma.
All of Fog Canyon is just, you're trying your best, but sometimes your best isn't good enough for those jellyfish. And yes, now we'll see the Overgrown Mound, where we have Howling Wraiths are up spell, and in order to get that, we need to fight through a bunch of squits, which are the mosquitoes we saw Taco Pogo off of earlier. Honestly, this has always been kind of a strange arena to me. They only take two hits to kill at the lowest nail level, but there are a bunch of them, and Spicy will fight through them nice and quickly.
The Howling Wraiths arena is one of those things that, at least in my casual experience, I didn't find it too bad to simply do, but the optimization problem of doing it as fast as possible has led to the development of several strats involving trying to herd them into specific positions to all get cleaned up by Shade Soul, or using D-Dark on platforms such that the tails of it can kill them. Oh
yes, it is, in a speed setting, it's a crazy arena to head through. And in a regular setting, you're just kind of like, huh, you know, I did arenas where it was a bunch of really hard to defeat monsters, and now we have mosquitoes. But there's Cyclone Slash for Taco, and Spicy will head into QG proper.
This is another arena coming up for Spicy that is the bane of so many percent runs. But once you have Shade Soul, just press the cast button.
Yep, it is that easy. And he gets this lovely abusive hazard respawn that gets him all the way down. This is another patch 1221 specialty. And he's able to get that level right away and keep on going to say hi to some more terrible Mantis Petra.
And now we for Spicy, as Taco starts his way into the Fog Canyon. Spicy is coming up on far and away my least favorite part of the run, Dark Deep Nest. It's a set of a couple dark rooms back to back, with the end goal spitting you out at the Beast Den to grab our final Dreamer. But the thing about dark rooms that we didn't super discuss, oh no, Taco, the explosion!
That was so unfortunate!
At the last minute.
Brutal. Oh, Taco.
The unfortunate thing about dark rooms is that the hazard respawns are not the same as when those rooms are illuminated. Your hazard respawn is always at the front of the room, the entrance you walked in, so you can very easily reset a whole bunch of progress very quickly and tilt out of this world.
Yes. And
especially this area right here, there is that spider on the wall, followed by some spikes that are very good at tilting me in particular and many runners. But Spicy, making it look easy.
Yes, super clean, and it's really good to just get it on your first try, because after some of those collapsing floors have collapsed, there are a lot fewer opportunities to sort of remedy things. And now we'll see Spicy head into Beast Den the nice and fun way you can do without having to sit on that trapped bench. If you have a bunch of movement, you just head up, and you're halfway through Beast Den already. And Taco will defeat his shade and head into the archives.
Yep, and Taco's gonna go ahead and take that safety bench in front of Mumu. Makes sense. Yeah. Any way you can stem the time loss, just in case.
Yep, it's unfortunate that you can't, due to the hard save after Monomon, you can't warp back to that bench, but it is just nice to be right there instead of up in Jordan.
And as far as safety benches go, it's not even particularly out of your way.
Exactly.
So Taco is hurting for the one cycle. Looks a little high as well, but we will see. That fall, is going to cost it.
Unfortunate. Yeah. Had a good damage rotation going on, then it's easy to trip. Those platforms are not big.
And Moo is large, and
yes.
Their attacks are annoying. And with that double hit, is going to secure the 2 cycle. Okay, let's a little
very nice. A good save overall.
So to answer the chat question while we get some stag movement towards the Abyss and Monomon here, this is the very beginning of the tournament. We're most of the way through round 1 of Swiss. There are going to be 5 rounds of Swiss competition, after which point we will top cut to a bracket that is, I believe, going to be top 8. But don't quote me on that. So as the Swiss rounds move forward, the matches, in theory, due to the nature of Swiss, will get closer and closer together. But yeah, top 8 will not be for probably a while. This first round has been about 2 weeks, assuming that will all be like that. We'll be hitting our top cut in a couple months.
Yeah, Pisces is saying 2 months, and I think that sounds about right. Yeah, in the end, it's up to runners and scheduling, but it's been within these 2-week periods, so there will be a lot of all skills racing for a good while.
Right, and Taco coming away with Monomon as Spicy enters the Lighthouse climb. This is one of those things that I think is super momentum based. Like, if you get hit by these siblings even once, it's very easy to get hit again. Yeah, alright,
yes,
Spicy.
I think that was one. But yeah, no, it's they just follow you around and they just sort of try to float into you and deal 2 masks of damage. And if you take a fall or you get hit, it can start going really badly. But Spicy showcasing what happens when you do have that momentum and you keep at it. And we'll head over to get Shade Cloak, which is our dash upgrade that gives you some invincibility.
And Spicy here is going to showcase a save quit. You get the Shade Cloak ability as soon as you sit in that pool, and it hard saves you, unless that looked like his.
Yeah,
Okay,
I've seen that happen before. I've seen it in runs and it's scary, but usually it's okay.
I have not seen that before. Well, glad. So it hard saves you in the abyss, no matter what it may look like. And so you can just save quit as soon as you enter that pool, to be able to again cut down on the amount of time you're just like losing time to a cutscene.
Yeah, the first time I saw that save quit and then it said Teacher's Archives, I mean, my heart dropped. The first I was watching, I was like, holy cow, that would be the worst, but it seems like it's fine for the most part. Lots of C dashing from both runners. Very good movement. And so Spicy will go get the final skill, which is Abyss Shriek. It is the upgrade of Howling Wraiths. It's going to provide us some very good damage against THK, the Hollow Knight. It's kind of an awkward spell to use against a boss that doesn't really spend most of its time in the air, but the damage is just so good with Shaman Stone. And so you'll see him go through and absolutely melt THK with that.
And that's basically the run. We got the THK fight, which is of course no slouch, and this Abyss climb marks the end of the high order platforming here.
Yes.
Abyss climb ILs have become vastly more popular in recent memory. There's something just very, I don't know, satisfying about trying to get out of this little platforming maze.
Yeah.
I believe the record for it is on the order of just under 35 seconds.
I feel like it's closer to 30, but I could be wrong.
Closer to 30. I'm thinking of a particular runner's PB, ignore me. Yeah, we have shaved down a whole lot, and getting a lot of good pogos there. That felt like a very good Abyss climb.
That was very smooth from Spicy. But yeah, no.
Value at a specific time.
It is funny to see people be like, I dropped 1/10 of a second on my Abyss climb. But no, I feel like it's very closely connected to the game in general, and you know what it is that you're doing in Hollow Knight lore-wise. So it's a fun thing to try out.
And that Abyss climb from Spicy was pretty exemplary. It's like all the pieces of a good Abyss climb.
Yeah.
Including some of those tricky pogos on outward spikes. Nail hitbox is a little bit bigger than you may think.
So there's Wraiths for Taco, and we should see Spicy heading into the Black Egg to finish this thing out. Or not.
Oh, we're making a very important quick detour. I think know
we
where
might
this
be.
is going.
I think I do as well.
So Herb pointed out our friend Mila a while ago when we first went into the Crystal Peaks. After you get the Crystal Heart ability, Mila becomes infected. And so that means she behaves like any other Husk Miner, including being able to die. Oh no, I was baited. Alright, Spicy. Well played.
A bow.
Well played.
Yes, Quack, are you in the kill Mila or bow to Mila camp?
I have the current patch world record for Mila percent. My opinion on this matter is clear.
Yes.
But Spicy going to show compassion to end this race out.
That was very honorable.
Spicy going to voluntarily not euthanize the infected character so that he can go and euthanize a different infected character.
Well, that's one way of putting it. Oh, there we go. He does get helicopter knight.
Yep, no, so // going to get that stalling forward animation on the Black Egg Temple opening. You can do that with any nail art. You can also do that with Shade Soul by pushing yourself backwards across the trigger for the cutscene, and it leads to you looking like a crazy shade demon thing.
Yes. No, but I'm sure Mila will be a huge theme in this tournament. I know we've had a be killed by Mila already, or hug Mila. Let me just take a mask of damage and call it a hug. But for now, after that honorable bow, we will see Spicie finish out the game.
So yeah, the Hollow Knight fight is mostly about finding your Abyss Streaks. Because that does 120 damage if you can hit all parts of it, which is a little bit hard, again, because Hollow Knight's just standing in front of you rather than being above you. But still, good damage for soul investment, so it's mostly just about building up soul to spam those. Taco, meanwhile, in the final room of Dark Deepness, it looks like, on full health and pretty good soul as well, so... Yeah, and avoids getting womboed into the spikes there.
Yes. Very nice from him. As Spicie heads towards the final screen, Hollow Knight fight.
And yeah, never any doubt. That's going to be about, what, like a 57-45?
I think so, yeah. Very respectable when you consider a detour to say hi to Bardoon and bow to Mila.
You know, so a couple minutes behind PB, pretty good for a marathon time.
Yes. Taco will
Pretty
clear it out and go get Hera. Yeah, you were right on the dot there.
Yeah, as I think it was Rhino that pointed out the other day in the Hollow Knight Discord, plug, that that after the like cutscene triggers to the timer stopping is 20 seconds. So
yes,
you can demystify the panic at the end for wondering whether you're at or under a certain time threshold.
Yep, with some quick addition and a little bit of okay, hands off the keyboard. Let's add 20. Can figure it out, but. Yes, Spicie will be the winner, and Taco will continue on if he would like.
Alright, Taco does have an unsubmitted PB to answer the chat question. Taco's PB is actually about this time right here. It's a high 101.
Yes.
So this is not going to be a PB taste run for him, but still a very good time on the whole, so we're probably going to finish out the run here, given that it's just a quick run through the Abyss and then THK. Oh no, Taco.
Oh no.
Okay.
Okay,
you really do not want to fall.
Bad.
If you fall all the way to the bottom of Distant Village there, it does require some impromptu Dark Deepness platforming to make your way back up.
And it's a real DLC dark room. You are not doing that every time you run this category. Yeah, Zana Oreo, there have been plenty of PBs this tournament. We've had a few races where both runners have PB'd. And so while we won't be seeing one today, yeah, I would expect plenty, especially considering how many newer runners are starting out in the tournament.
Oh yeah, that is true. Good point from chat. You could just save quit to the Hera hard save. Still an unfortunate way to finish out the Dreamer collection of the run here.
Yeah. I mean, in my opinion, any extra time in Deep Nest is probably not time you're enjoying.
Hard agree from me.
Yeah, showing off those nice.
Taco showing off those nice Abyss falls.
Yes. He'll head up to the lighthouse himself and hopefully not get bullied by siblings.
These seem to be fairly all right sibling spawns.
Yeah, pretty good.
Got extra health.
Yeah, I'll get
no
through it.
worries.
No big deal. Head on over and through, and yeah, I mean, considering all of these deaths, this has been a really solid run from Taco. I mean, it's been tough. There have been tough moments, but since then, fights have been clean.
Yeah, since the unfortunate Fog Canyon death, there's the archives again. That's still
heart-wrenching.
Puts my heart in my throat every time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so gonna get Abyss Streak here, and then another quick Abyss climb, and we're on our way. So this looks paced for, what, like a 108? I want to do math on here, depending on the speed of 107, 108, depending on the speed of the Hollow Knight fight.
Yeah, that seems about right to me, considering as long as there's no shenanigans with THK, no 15 parries or craziness.
Yeah. And actually from one of the streams earlier this week, I've seen some of the unfairness of the hazard respawns in the Abyss climb. You can be pretty far up the Abyss climb, hit spikes, and respawn all the way at the bottom of the Abyss. So that is another thing to avoid for sure. I wonder, depending on how safe versus pushing it Taco is going to play this end game, if we'll go for some of those like double or triple spike pogos, or if we'll just take safer routes up through the Abyss. Yeah,
in the end, it like you said, it can just be so brutal. You can be so far in that room, and then holy cow, I'm on the floor again. And so yeah, we'll see. It's a whole bunch of choices. There are many opportunities for time
like that's the floor.
Also for that, yeah. Gets it second time though.
And we're still going for it. Yep, there's the one spike pogo.
Looking good though.
This is the set that is,
Yeah, that is really tough. Very solid go around.
Spicy rapping in the chat, cheering Taco on. You love to see it.
You really do. That's what we want here. Want that sportsmanship.
And we're on our way.
Yeah, back to good old Hidden Station and heading up. We're gonna see probably zero interaction with Mila, but we'll see lots of interaction with the Hollow Knight.
So, and as we've long since moved past our last Geo collection, we can verify that Taco did in fact stay above the extra Geo that he collected, so that's all on the up and up. Is going to bench in Dirtmouth for the extra heal. It is faster if you're looking for a heal before the Hollow Knight fight. It is faster to bench in Dirtmouth rather than bench in Black Egg Temple, because Crystal Dash is overpowered, and so you want to be spending your time Crystal Dashing rather than stopping it to bench.
Yes. And oh, thank you, Slow. Yes, chat is extremely cute and has been extremely cute for the past hour and 25 minutes. As are the racers. And yes, so we'll hope for Deathless Hollow Knight from Taco. Otherwise, that Dirtmouth bench will be a little bit of a trek. But looking good.
It's actually no issue if you die to Hollow Knight. You respawn at the Black Egg bench anyway. So
oh wait! Oh my gosh! I had a complete I forget about that.
It's certainly something I discovered handily on a casual playthrough.
Oh yes.
When you see the speedrun of this game, it's one of those things that's easy to forget about. And sure enough, the Abyss streaking begins.
Oh yeah. No, I mean for me, whenever I saw that, it was just bench, and so auto venture was very useful in this case, but didn't quite hit me head until now. Oh, one mask, but a good heal and solid.
And those are the parries.
Yes. I believe it was Conra that had a particularly ugly Hollow Knight fight with just straight parries.
I mean, we're seeing something like that there. Okay, now that we're in the self-stab phase,
Yeah,
he's got more options to
the
pick
safe
from.
phase. Yeah, plenty of time for soul collection and healing there when the Hollow Knight is attacking itself instead of you.
Oh, that had been bad.
Oh boy.
Alright, Taco is going
You
to
got it.
be a high 108.
It's big GG's. Yeah, really strong finish from Taco after all those different things throughout the run. That really unfortunate death in Fog Canyon and such. Really got it together in an awesome way.
Mark Taco is done there. Let the ending cutscene play, but hopefully get him invited on in real quick so we can do a quick post-game wrap-up with the runners.
Yep, and it looks like they're both here in the setup channel. So Oko, this is unfortunately not a personal best, as Taco had a really awesome PB yesterday with a 101, but it'll very much be a PB on the horizon soon if he keeps playing like this.
We're trying to get runners into the on-air channel. We'll see what happens. While we vamp for runners, just to let you know the schedule, the next match that is scheduled for this is going to be tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. GMT. That's going to be Visuals versus Water with Flavor. Still round 1 Swiss, but should be a very exciting time.
Yep, and we'll be seeing, I believe that the end of February is also the end of round 1, and then we'll see another set of Swiss pairings and just keep at this. There will be many very great races to watch over the next few months. Hey
There we go.
guys.
GG's.
Big GG's.
GG.
GG's. So, that's Soulmaster vibing, huh?
Yeah, you do be vibing though. You do be dancing. Oh, what was that? That was so cursed.
Oh yeah.
I thank
Also
you both
that-
for heads up play around that.
Yeah, really.
Also, that jellyfish in Fog Canyon, man.
Oh
came
yeah,
after me.
that was so. Yeah, I was really wondering what that must have been like, because you were so close to the end of that room and just like, oh, so tough. But
When I hit it, I was like, oh shit, that's coming my direction. Better get out of here. Oh no.
inches, you were inches from safety.
Yeah.
But yeah, really great job to both of you. Spicy, immense respect for the bow to Mila.
Thank you.
Great.
You had baited me.
Yeah, no, I'm not killing
100%.
Milo. I couldn't do that to her. She's the best girl.
I suspect this will be a narrative over the course of the
Oh
tournament.
yeah, there will be an odyssey written from this.
Oh no. I was off to a really good start. Like that first split was like 3:37. I felt pretty good
Yeah.
about myself.
I
And
was
then-
scared coming out of the first split. I was like 3:37. Damn.
What did you have at the first split?
I was like 3:41, I think. So
Hmm.
like, you know, you were killing it.
I was actually ahead at some point. Nice.
No,
But
it
then I
was-
made a
it was
mistake.
great.
Then I made 2, and then everything steamrolled from there.
I mean the first Hornet fight where you were playing super defensively at 1 health.
Yeah.
Chat was already predicting like, oh, this is going to be one of those Fury of the Fallen runs, isn't it? And you did not disappoint.
Yeah.
in that.
I've never had a run like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
How
mean-
many tries did it take me for Mantis Pogo? Like 6, 7?
I think that because you ended up going around, right? On
No,
one
I
health?
actually made it. Oh no, Mantis
Oh.
Pogo. Mantis Pogo. No, I
Yeah,
mean
Mantis
the
Pogo.
explosion
E-Pogo,
Pogo.
yeah, that was
Right.
probably 6 or 7. That was dedication. I really respect that, man. No,
Oh,
all,
it was
all of the
so
people in
scary
chat were
because
like,
I was
yeah,
at 2 health.
on the grind. Yeah, that was a gutsy move.
E-Pogo in tournament is a little bit scary. This is my first tournament match, and I barely got it that second time. I was ready to be there for a while too.
So how are you feeling first marathon race down?
I'm
I'm
not feeling
feeling
so good,
excited.
Mr. Stark. Spicy, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm excited for my future matches. It's scary tournament running, lots of stress, but it's a lot of fun too.
All right, if anything else you guys want to say, comment on your runs, on what you're looking at for the future, anything like that.
My goal is to not die 10 times in the next run.
Good
Also,
goal.
shout out to Elderbug.
Good shout out right there.
Respect
he is
it.
a cool dude.
He is a cool dude, indeed.
Awesome. Then I think we're going to wrap it up here. Congrats to Spicy, but GG's to both of you. That was a seriously
Yeah,
impressive race. Excited for Swiss Round 2. Hope to be back on the mic for some of these future races. And thank you to chat for sticking with us. We hope to see you back here or on another speed gaming channel tomorrow for the next one.
Yeah, big thanks, big GGs to everybody. I too hope to be taking the mic someday again. This is my first time commentating, and you guys were a wonderful audience. And yeah, thanks to Quack for co-comming and to the runners for giving us such a cool and interesting race.
Yeah, GG's Taco. Thank you to the comms for commentating our race.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you all for making this happen, this entire tournament. Thank you all for commentating. I know it's like takes a lot of time out of your day when there's this many matches. So yeah, thank you all for doing this. It's great. It's great fun.
Awesome. Thanks, everyone. Hope to see you.